tub. Hot, stay, very hot. Stay hot there, hot tub. Gonna get you hot. I'm gonna make it wet. Stay hot tub. Rubber dub in the hot tub. Rubber dub with me. Should I get in the hot tub? Yeah. Will it make me sweat? Yeah. Should I get in the hot tub? Yeah. Will it make me wet? Yeah. Well.
Yes,
Did you already play a song?
Yeah, delay.
Oh, my God.
We got delayed.
Yeah, we did some commercials.
5-yard penalty.
To show open.
Oh, my God. Good morning and welcome to 104.3 ESPN Northwest. Yeah, get in the hot tub. It will make you wet. It will make you sweat. Josh, Jeremy, good morning, sir.
Morning.
You looking good. Josh, you look outstanding as usual. Wildcat, you're beautiful like always.
I know.
You're just the man. Hey, you got to be, as a county AD, you got to be extremely proud. These baseball teams, Bay High School playoff, Mosley High School playoff, Arnold High School is going to the state championship. Bozeman, heartbreaking, up 9-2. We'll talk to Jeff tomorrow. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. What a season he had. They're the state champions of the public school baseball league. And over in South, I know you don't have anything to do with South Walton, but South Walton, Port St. Joe, Holmes County. Are we not baseball? This is the power of the Southeast and baseball's right here in this area.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's crazy.
Panhandle's always done well baseball-wise, particularly when you consider number of schools that we have in this area compared to down south. But we'll hold our own.
Yeah. No, I think it's incredible. I mean, just the caliber of talent we have, and then the caliber of coaches we have putting that together. I mean, it's rare for counties our size to have four teams that are playoff teams, and not just playoff teams, but contend.
It's not just on the baseball side too. Ladies are getting underway with softball.
Arnold won 10-1. Rick won all the way to Clay.
Go Rick!
They got
Rick
back
Green.
at I think I got the text at 2 a.m. this morning that they're back. So.
I thought they had to travel.
They had to travel to Clay. Yep. And
in the next round, we got an inter-county matchup with Bozeman and North Bay.
North Bay. Wow. Bozeman went over to FSU school and beat them by 5-4, I believe. And Jared's doing a good job over there. And then obviously North Bay is North Bay. And Butch has just done an unbelievable job. And they've kind of coasted through all their matches, beating Walton again. I think that was the fourth time they've played.
When we had a regional semi facing two teams, same county, here, Bay County.
And softball, probably a long time.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome.
Yep.
It's just incredible. I know you're proud of it. The coaches, the kids, the commitment. We always talk about all the time. You got to have talent to win, but you can't win a state championship without character. I've seen many times a team that's unbelievably talented get beat with a team that was maybe not quite as talented, but a lot of character, a lot of hard work and great attitude kids beat them, upset them. But we got it here in Bay County, and that goes to the great coaches we have, great teachers we have, great parents we have. Administration, I'll give a shout-out to Arnold's principal, Brent Smith. He's incredible. The guy cares about that school. He's turned it around unbelievably since he's been there. Look at the state championships, soccer, weightlifting. We might get it now in baseball. Football is good. It wouldn't have been down so long. Across the board, softball, I got to give him a lot of credit. And we got a lot of great fine administrators in this county.
No, we do. And even like I'm going to shout out Ivan Beach. He's been to all these big games for Jeff, all these big games for me. I think he was in Jacksonville and came over back to Tallahassee to watch softball and on his way back into town. So you have principals who are invested in the student athletes that are more than the 8-3. That speaks volumes.
Brett gave the pep talk. They turned the season around at Arnold baseball. Now, of course, going to extra innings, they call me down and give them a little talk. No, not really. But what a guy. You weren't there. Or were you there?
I got on house arrest. I was at the FIAAA for 5 days.
Right.
So my wife said no athletic events for you for 2 days. So.
Jeremy, I wish you'd have been there. I almost called you, and I said no. I sat with two great, I love them. Jerry Restard, he's been, when he gets through, it'll be 50 years in Bay District School as an employee. Yep. Guy's incredible. And his beautiful wife. You talk about fine people. We sat there and had a blast. Me, him, Julie. And the third baseman's granddad was sitting there with us, too. And I'm sorry, I apologize. The name went out of my head. But saw Steve and his wife, Brent Smith, Angie Dunlap. Saw a lot of people. Brad. Saw a lot of people we used to know there. But anyway, that crew calling the game, 35 years, have you heard? 35 years, I know you can't say it, 35 years going to high school football playoff games, baseball games, weightlifting meets, basketball. And I don't want to be critical because we're always trying to get people to get involved in it and do it. But I'm telling you, I have never seen anything like it in my life.
Well,
Jimmy, it was as bad as it could get.
mercy.
And if I came in here, I would have lost. I came here and said everybody would say, "Oh, no wonder you're saying that."
No.
I think both sides. I think both fan bases are like, "What is going on?" People making calls. This not their call. People, first lineman coming over telling the other two they're wrong.
Third base making a call at first base.
It was. You just don't see this stuff
In
at
a
a
regional
state championship game. No.
Off air, I want to know where the crew was from.
I got the answer for you.
We got the answer. And I hope we never see him again.
Because I know they're not our guys. I mean, that's the one thing. We got great crew here, but get to this level, they sent in from other parts of the state.
You know it, and I know it. That would have never happened in the state of Alabama.
Absolutely not.
Or I'll say this, Georgia or Mississippi. Maybe it's because we're smaller states, but I think it's because we care and they just do a better job. Our state, when it comes to athletics, some decisions are made the way we do things here. It's not like a southern state. I say it all the time. Of course, we're the melting pot. We've got people from all over the country that come in here and think that we need to do it where they used to do it back in their states. But that was wrong for the players.
That's not exactly. That's what's the problem there. Bad call here or there, but you've got to have people ready to call, and you don't want the game to be bigger than they are. And that sounds like that's exactly what happened here.
I wish you'd have been there because you've done it. You've been there. You've been in the fire, and they didn't handle it very well. It was something else. But saying all that, Arnold found a way to win. Those kids fought like you and I. It's like Bozeman players. Bozeman had their back against the wall in 2 games against 2 powerhouse private schools that house players. House players, what do you mean? They live on campus. Jacksonville Bowls, they got destroyed in game 1. They came back and won the next 2. We talked about that. And then last week, this team was ranked in the nation.
Bishop Snyder.
Yeah, in the nation. And they fought back. They were up 9-2. I think they had 2 outs and 1 guy on base. I think, I could be wrong. And the guy hits a home run. If they strike him out, he pops up.
They're coming back playing tonight.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to Bozeman. I mean, when I saw the bracket, you see they're staring down, Bowls and all of those private school powerhouses to still be alive after round 1. I mean, pretty remarkable. Yeah. So to be right there on the cusp of knocking on the door to go to the Final Four, great run for those guys.
Yeah. Some would argue the toughest region amongst classifications.
No doubt.
And for them to make it to the regional finals.
That was murderer's row right there.
And our buddies down there at Port St. Joe, Wham, we should have been, I apologize, we should have jumped back on them the whole year.
I'll say this about Port St. Joe in the whole of the program, and I'm from Gulf County, I'm from Weevil-Hitchcock there. When you get to the postseason, St. Joe can, move through the year, but man, do they know how to peak at the right time.
Yeah.
I mean, they really do, and they play their best ball, and they understand what that second season is about. Franklin County had a great team this year. Props to Cottondale on a great, season, but when it is on the line, you want the Tiger Sharks. I mean, they're going to be. And you know what? That's pretty true across the board for their sports down there. Mm-hmm. Football, basketball. And it goes back to community, the people that raise those kids, the fight, never give up, never again. Look at all the adversity they faced over the years, the death of players, everything else, the hurricanes, everything like we've done here. But it goes back to the people. What's going to bring me into how much time we got? It brings me into this. It affects both of you guys. I always, when I walk, I look at stuff, I listen to stuff, people's talking, everything. But going to church, if you raise your kids in church, the opportunity for them to be successful compared to people that do not, it's unbelievable. Girls getting pregnant, getting arrested, making poor grades, not being successful in life. It's unbelievable being involved in church. You look at athletics. We've talked about this before. If you're involved, not just baseball, football, but not just the field sports, I'm talking about if you're involved in cheerleading, dance, choir, band. If you're involved in something else, and you know this for a fact, the GPA is higher. They don't get suspended. They don't get in trouble, and the girls don't get pregnant. Am I correct about that?
Yeah, I think anytime you can be a part of something bigger than yourself, you take a lot of, you fill your time with stuff that's positive, and you're around people. You know, we were created to be around people. So being in a positive environment with a mentor, with peers, you know, cultivating a good culture and atmosphere, I think you're setting yourself up for success. The more time you're alone, the more time you're not involved with things that have purpose in life, you find yourself in trouble.
Unfortunately, that's what gangs are aware of too.
Exactly.
Because they take these kids that don't have any direction in their lives and they say, hey, you can become a part of this gang. We got your back. You make a commitment. We make a commitment.
Part of our family.
You're going to be here for life, no matter what. And it's serious business. I've seen jump-ins and things like that.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yesterday up in New York, they were beating up police officers. There was a 12-year-old. He's in part of one of those gangs. They got a picture of him doing these gang signs, just like you said. They promise them this, promise them that. They fill into a group and look at the path they're going on. Exactly. Jimmy, you got to see it in church. I mean, they get to church. That's another way to have a great life.
Oh yeah, and to echo what Josh said, I mean you're part of something larger than yourself here. Then your commitment level increases. You see some kind of purpose, and extracurriculars. And we talk a lot about athletics, but extracurriculars cover so much more. Yeah. Really, just channels you and sets you on a different course for success in life.
They had an award. I really wish you would look into doing this. And this is the man to talk to right here to my left. They did this in Montgomery. It was huge. I don't know if they still do it or not.
The Jimmy Hitchcock
Award. Outstanding athlete of Montgomery was the biggest deal when I was there in the 70s, in the 80s. I was gone in the 80s, but I still remember people talking about it. And way before me, in the 60s, this was a big, huge deal. Mm-hmm. Everybody was involved in it, TV, newspaper, everything. It was incredible. They had a banquet. They would usually have a big-time college football coach, and it was every school had their representative. And I can't remember how many from each school or how many sports.
One representative from each school, one nominee from each school, and then best male, best female.
Yeah, and believe it or not, I was represented at Carver because I went to Lanier, then went over there, and I about fainted when I got nominated for that. Cause I was like, I'm not deserving. I told them, they come to your house, they interview you. I said, look, I believe in this and that, but I don't deserve to be even in this thing. I said, I'm just humbled that y'all have even brought me up. They thought enough to even mention this about me, but these other people, I know them. I forgot the kid's name at Lanier. I said, he should do it over me. And I said, I don't know Lee's and Jeff Davis's, but that guy at Lanier is outstanding. But Jeremy, talk about it. Did you go interview some of those athletes? Were you involved in it?
I was never part of the selection committee, but I did have a couple of Jimmy Hitchcock Award winners out of my congregation, and these are kids who excel on the field. They excel in the classroom. They excel in the community. I mean, these are the top, caliber talent. And
he was an Auburn football player, right? Jimmy Hitchcock. I can't remember.
I think that's right there. Yeah. And then Elmore County has a similar program. I have to look that up. I can't remember the name of but these counties have these programs to recognize not just the top athlete, but the ones that have the best character and well-rounded
community leaders, Christian. You tie it all in. A great community leader, great student, great player, and that's something that would be unbelievable for. And Bay County, we live off that stuff.
Yeah, it's Joe Sewell for Elmore County. Yeah, similar dynamic there. So we'll talk more about that.
And I know who we can name it after right now if we ever did it. One of the best Christian leaders we ever had, Tommy Salmon.
Right here. Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. It's Tommy Salmon. That'd be unbelievable.
I was about to say Glenn Manley.
No, I said good, really good people. Glenn and I had we had a great lunch yesterday. We were down at the legendary J. Michael's restaurant. A great crowd down there for the world famous J. Michael's spaghetti. LSU Jeff showed up. We had a great time with him. Donna was there. Glenn showed up. Brian was there. And Richard Sanders, I love him. That guy's incredible. I go up there. I say, do not let him pay. I said, I'm buying his lunch today. I get up. I say, where is he at? So I go over there to go pay his bill. I get there. She goes, Coach, he's already paid for his. He's already paid for y'all's table. I said, I was kind of upset with him because he always gets us and we never get him back. But you talking about a fine man that's really, he was kind of the key to everything you see around here in Bay County. Without his leadership, we wouldn't have what we have now, all these sporting events, all these fields being built, and all these teams coming. I think we got 72 teams. Is it softball? I think we have 72 softball, not players, teams in Bay County this weekend. Thank you, Richard Sanders. The guy's incredible. Also, don't forget about our local 115. Jeremy, we've down there. We've had a great time. Tommy Santamont, Jeremy. The crab cakes, the best you'll get anywhere. Have you been yet, Josh? You got to get down there. You got to get down there. Wednesday, they got all kinds of specials on Wednesday. But I tell you another thing's going on from 3 to 6 this Friday. Free oysters. You get, if every individual gets 1 dozen free oysters, and Kyle Vandergrift's is company, the give me a second, talk on it. TK Vandy Roofing and General Contracting, they're going to pick up the bill. How about that? You going to go get some free oysters?
Free oysters.
We went down there when they did it. The construction company was doing it. Julie got a dozen. I got a dozen. We had a great time. We had a great time.
And then there's gumbo.
Oh, my God. The gumbo's the best you get anywhere. All right, I got time to do one more?
No.
We'll be right back. This is a legendary 104.3 ESPN Northwest. We got Josh, we got Jeremy, we got Wildcat. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
A 2-run home run.
The Atlanta Braves are back.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
And ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for Braves country.
He just wrecked that thing. Straightaway center, a homer for Riley.
Sales, Strider, Acuna, Ozzie, Riley, Profar, and Coach Snitker lead a stellar lineup. Listen live nights and weekends on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Thursday's weather forecast. Partly cloudy and a likelihood of thunderstorms this afternoon and evening with a high near 79 and a wind 8 to 12 miles per hour. A possibility of thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies tonight and a temperature of 72. About the same tomorrow, around 77 with a likelihood of thunderstorms. A likelihood of thunderstorms and light showers Saturday and warm around 76. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
This Saturday, May 10th, celebrate Mom and save at the Humane Society Thrift and Gift. It's our Mother's Day sale, and all moms get 10% off everything. Find one-of-a-kind gifts, vintage treasures, and everyday essentials, all while supporting a great cause. The Humane Society of Bay County, 1352 West 15th Street in the Piggly Wiggly Shopping Center. Don't miss it. It's this Saturday only. Give back, save big, and show moms some love.
Is your restaurant looking a little tired from the long off season? Is your office a little offish? Start the new year off right by giving them a fresh start. Fresh Start Cleaning is now accepting new clients. Ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services. Fresh Start Cleaning. Get clean again with Fresh Start. Call 850-771-6917, 771-6917, and ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services.
Want to know the inside scoop on your favorite teams? From the gridiron to the hardwood to the diamond. For comprehensive sports coverage, it's ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
Not ready for the moment.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're giving you great advice. This is Advice Thursday. We've got Jeremy in here, so I feel comfortable giving this great advice. It's a secret to life. Wildcat, I could pick his brain all day, the things he's accomplished in that short life he's had, 65 years, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
But, I mean, there are secrets. There are things that help you be successful. Jeremy, tell me and give me your opinion, but just me, just little old me, it's the people you hang around with, I think, is the most critical. One of the most critical. There's several. There's really no key.
What's the saying? Water seeks its own level?
Yeah.
So who you hang out with?
You are what you hang around with. I used to tell the players, you want to be smarter, hang around kids that make good grades. You want to be a better football player, hang around people that care about football. Because that's the people you love. You want their satisfaction. You want them to talk good about you.
Want to be a better chess player? Play somebody that's better than you.
Exactly. You are what you hang around with. Why do you think I feel so good on Thursdays? Look who's sitting beside me. I got Jeremy.
Yeah. And then there's Tommy.
He always says, why don't you come on Sunday? You'll feel better on Sunday. Yeah, I'm coming back. Anyway, but I'll never forget this, Jeremy. My dad, bless his heart, he didn't have a father. He went to 4th grade, 33 years in the military, the smartest guy I ever knew. But there would be this one guy, he would always say, that guy ain't good. I don't want you around him. And I loved the guy. He was my hero, and we were close. He was a great football player. He was good. But I think back now, 90% of the time I got in trouble, I was with him. And true story, he was good, he was successful, and he lost everything. He lost everything. And my dad knew it way back then. People that love you and care about you tell you certain things, you need to listen. But all you students out there, you want to be good, you want to have a successful life, you hang around successful people, keep people that do the right things and the positive things, in my opinion. What else would be some certain things we could tell the youth out there that help them be successful?
Well, I think, you want to have mentors. And that starts pretty early. I've listened to a lot of, coaches that develop programs here, and they're, calling on the juniors and seniors to start, investing in freshmen, sophomores, building the culture around the program. And, as you go through these transitions, whether you're middle school going into high school or high school into college, if you get a chance to play next level, go ahead and invest in those that are, have gone before you a little bit, learn what you need to learn there. And don't be afraid to ask, questions. And I think that's part of it. I think it's also good for those who have been there to make sure to look back those behind you. Who's coming along? Who do you see that you can impart some wisdom? I know coaches do that all the time, but players can do that. People who have been around the game, and so that's important.
And you got students going into high school for the first time. They go into middle school the first time. They need to go in there with a smile on their face, brighten the room up with your smile, have confidence. You're the best at what you can do anything you want to do in life, but feel confident about it. I see a lot of them over the years in that business. You see someone coming really shy, timid, and they can be drawn into the wrong group. So confidence is huge too. And the reason I'm saying that, I know we're going to have a group next year going into high school, a group next year going into middle schools. Anything you can add to it?
Well, I think kids these days have hurdles we never could imagine with this, with this thing.
That thing right there.
I feel like a lot of people put weight and stock into their image on what other people see, which, taints personal relationships, face-to-face conversations. So I think coaches and teachers have to be more intentional than ever about making sure your kids are communicating. Like, it's so funny. Like, even when I was coaching, we'd make comments on, our kids wouldn't talk on defense, or our kids wouldn't talk on offense, or even talk to each other in the locker room. They go right to the, what I'm saying? So, simple things like, no phone policies and different things that we had to implement. But you just, it's like a shell that people just go into. So I think that caused a lot of hurdles in terms of just relationships, face to face, your organic, relationships that go on.
You know what tickled me? I got to be careful how I word this. I think you'll get the drift. We were at Southern, and the players at that age, and it can be at the high school level, whatever, but there was a place called the End Zone. We all went there. And all the guys, they all would run their mouth, talk about certain things, and but when it wanted to be around certain type of women and stuff, but they all said the type of woman they wanted to marry. But I was thinking to myself, I don't know we're going to find this type of girl in a bar in these places they're looking.
Corrupted them all.
They're not maybe in the right place to find that type, but that was important to them. I'd get tickled about that. Anyway, how I got on all this, I'll never know, but we did. Hey, be positive, work hard. You can be anything you want to be, but please hang around good, positive people who do the right thing. If you do that, you'll be, hang around successful people, you'll become successful. No doubt about that. All right, Jeremy, a couple things. The SEC and ESPN are getting together. We knew it was going to come. I don't know. We have to probably make two segments on this Wildcat. But the SEC commissioner, they're in talks with the ESPN. And I think we got to be careful with the ESPN. I think they're going to go broke. I think ABC has a chance to lose it all. They better be careful. But saying that, ESPN's willing to pay $50 to $80 million more, not to each individual school, I believe I read this correctly, $50 to $80 million more to the SEC to play non-conference games. Okay? If it's $50 million, that means each university is going to get $3.125 million, roughly $3.1 million more per season for football. That, to me, that's pocket change to them. If it's $80 million, each individual school football will get additional $5 million, maybe just a little bit over 5, depending on what the exact 80, 81 million, whatever it is. Let's just say $5 and $3.1 million. To add that one game, the holdback right now, because it's all about money, the holdback right now is the number of losses. That means every university, every school is going to get another loss, or is it half of them will get another loss, right? That's another loss for half the conference, which is we're at, 16 right now?
Right.
So they're talking about that loss could cost revenue going forward for a bowl game revenue, which costs the SEC and those individual schools, and playoffs. We only got 3 teams last year in. We're the biggest, baddest conference in the country, or used to be, until the Big Ten spanked us the last 2 years. So we didn't get 4 teams in. We got 3. So we lost on all those millions of dollars. So they're trying to punch in the figures and numbers. Is it worth it for us to go play another game where half the league get another loss? We might lose out on bowl money for 8 teams. We might lose off on playoff teams, only get 3 in. It's going to come to, and more or less when you read it and you listen to it, it's going to come down to they get the guarantee for 4 bids. They got to get that. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the numbers will work out for it to happen, Jerry. And I think I'm right, because that's what they're talking about. If I'm a coach in the SEC and they have already done this, I'm voting no. Let's keep it like it is. The SEC since 1982 have had 8 conference games. They've won more national championships than any conference in college football. It's not broke. There's nothing wrong with it. They're still surviving. The 9 games could be a great thing for TV viewership, no doubt about that. But if you don't guarantee them 4 teams, and they want them to go, the Big Ten SEC want them to go to 14 games, not 12, and the top 14 ranked teams, but the Big Ten SEC both get 4 automatic bids to the playoffs. Because the Big Ten's already at 9, and you could have a year that, the Big 12 gets 2 in, the ACC gets a couple in or something like that, and they only have 3 to get in. So what do you think is going to happen? I'm saying don't do it. Don't go to 8 games. For $5 million, why?
Don't go to 9.
9, yeah, why for $5 million?
Well, and what do you think the economic impact is to the city of Tuscaloosa on one game day?
Yeah.
One game day? $17 million approximately.
Yeah, especially with a big game.
Even a money game, though. You get
people who don't go usually.
Right. I mean, Eastern Illinois comes into town. It opens up opportunity for folks who may not be able to shell out several $100s, but they can go watch their beloved Crimson Tide play.
And they buy gas, they buy food,
gas,
hotels.
And hotels. So you're going to lose $17 million on a money game to have to go travel on a conference game, which is even.
Yeah, that's true. One year you have less one. Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right, hold your thoughts right there. We'll come back and talk a little bit more about this. What do you think? Give us a call, 215-6290. Wildcat's going to give you away something today you're not going to believe. You're not even going. You know why? Because you're not going to get it. We're just trying to get you to call.
We'll think of something.
We'll give you a water bottle or something.
We can find an old T-shirt or something around here.
All right, let me get this going. We talked about a great job yesterday by Jay Michaels. Pat Perno, City Commissioner Lynn Haven, always does a wonderful job. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven, and that's the key. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. Lynn Haven. That restaurant's incredible. Customer service second to none. They do an incredible job. Great food every time you go there. TVs everywhere. Great atmosphere. Go see Pat. Tell him we said hello. And we're out that way. Let's go see Russ, Amber. What we're going to do?
Mother's Day's right around the corner, and I know money's tight right now, but that's one of the reasons why you should go to David Adams and Designer Jewelry, because they got their new spring collection out, laid out there for you, ready to go, and they have something priced for everybody. I guarantee you'll find something for Mother at Mother's Day right there at David Adams and Designer Jewelry, Highway 77, Lynn Haven.
If you're involved in sports, if you love going to the beach, you love swimming, golfing, tennis, you're out in the sun all the time, Take care of yourself. It doesn't look right, feel right. 5 minutes can save your life. Call Dr. Ward. Make an appointment. If you're listening to Panhandle, Florida right now, there's an office throughout the Panhandle. This guy is a legend. He's the best at what he does. That's Dr. Ward. Listen to him every Wednesday, 7:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Great place to have birthday parties. David does such a wonderful job. They've got a new location. The address is 10908. 10908 Front Beach Road. Park in the back. A lot of tourists hang out down there. Great atmosphere. Kind of a large facility down there, too. Pretty cool. But you want to, tonight only, karaoke. You hear some of the best local singers you've heard anywhere. Go listen to it. Get a great meal. The best happy hour. Buy one, get one free. House wine, small margarita, draft beer. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. And if you want to feel better, look better like Wildcat, like Jeremy, like Josh, it's Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Try it before you buy it. Listen to Jason Kovaleski on Tuesdays and Fridays right here on the SEC Network. We'll be right back, home of the Atlanta Braves.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Line play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the Man Cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Pier Park, get ready to shake things up. Paradise Nutrition is now open. Craving flavor and fitness? We've got you covered. Loaded teas, protein-packed shakes, gourmet coffees, and refreshing drinks. From our signature Jimmy Buffett tea to Reese's Shake, Paradise Nutrition has over 600 flavor combos. Need energy? Appetite control? We've got add-ons like boba, biotin, collagen, and probiotics. Plus, try our donut whole shot appetite suppressant. Paradise Nutrition, Pier Park, next to Target.
Mid-South Lumber, where they treat you like family. Locally owned and serving the residents of Bay County for over 45 years. See Mid-South Lumber for all of your DIY projects, including windows, doors, siding, lumber, and millwork. Are you building a new home? Bring your contractor in to Mid-South Lumber and meet with a member of their sales team to discuss your framing, siding, windows, and doors. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City. 717 West 11th Street.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Much better up there than we are now.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I want to thank Gordy for these good, positive, kind words. In your case, it didn't matter if you played sports or not. You weren't getting any girlfriends. Just saying. Thank you, Gordy. That was sweet. That was really nice. I loved it. Now, getting back to the SEC, 9 games, 8 games. If I'm a coach, athletic director, I'm sorry. I'm not going to. For $5 million, I'm not going to give my school an opportunity for another loss. Of course, you could say, hey, you're giving an opportunity for another win. But I just, in the SEC, so top to bottom, it's the best. Top to bottom, I still think we have the best football conference in the country. Top end is the Big Ten right now with Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon. They're really good. So go back. What would you do? Would you say, if you're the commissioner, say, look, guys, we need to do this?
If you're the commissioner, you're going to say we need to do this. You've got a brand, you want to sell your brand. If you're a coach, it's absolutely not. You know, and if you're a Chamber of Commerce person, no. because that's another weekend that I've lost that brings in tremendous amount of visitors and revenue to my city coffers. So there's an element there that I think commissioner and the networks are concerned about one thing: advertising, media, number of television sets being turned on. But if you're on the ground in Tuscaloosa or Auburn or Starkville or Oxford, you got a whole different lens you're looking through.
Yeah. We got a phone call. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm surprised you're not in South Florida trying to save humanity.
I'm heading after the show. What are you doing, Rob?
We'll do that. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
All right.
But right now, we got more important things. Hey, about all this thing about changing everything, I think they're trying to fix something that's not broke.
I'm with you.
You got a bunch of new people that's coming there. They're trying to justify their position and sitting around. All they need to do is sit down in a meeting and draw a line in the middle of a piece of paper and go pros and cons. And I don't see a lot of pros to do in what they're trying to do on adding more conference games and cutting out the little people and all that.
Yeah, that's another angle. Yeah, I didn't even think about the other part, the southern Mississippis of the world. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you're sitting here trying to say, oh, we're going to do travel and do more conference this, and we're doing all this other here. But the con to all that is you're taking money away from what's got you where you're at, your hometown people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
And more games. Everybody complained last year when we had 12 games that the first 4 or 5 games were terrible games. You had one that was a decent game, but the rest of them were not even decent games. And so we're wanting to add 2 or 3 more, 4 more games now, go to 14, 16. Where do you stop?
I'm with you. Greed is good sometimes.
Well,
not this time.
Yeah, well, greed,
Gordon Gekko told me greed was good.
It's called American Greed, and greed is what's going to kill college sports.
Hey, Rob,
you just watch.
I'm telling you now, his head. I don't like the way his head. What about Trump and Saban? Did you hear all them talk? Is that your Alabama?
We'll talk.
We'll hold off on that. Josh, let me ask you, what do you think? SEC, your dad, y'all been involved in sports since you've been born. What do? Now you're a county AD. You're in the commissioner's role. Do you say, hey, look, guys, we got to bite the bullet for that little $50 million or $5 million for each university, which I don't know how much part the SEC would take. So what are you coming from? What's your thoughts on it?
I think it comes down to which stakeholder you want to please, more. Is it about the kids and the coaches and their flexibility and, mastering their schedule to keep their jobs? Because if you add another game and there's another upset or, whatever, now you're, there's the ripple effect on the operations side with coaches and players, But then on the other side, some of those lower end SEC teams, I mean, it might help them not have to schedule a bye game or something, and they might get more money from that extra game compared to, but it would hurt the top tier teams for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah. And think about that, Rob. If you do play the extra game and you do have, good and well, that's another loss for the conference. Half of the conference is going to get at least one more loss. If they fire a coach, if it leads to a coach being fired, what happens? All the players leave that like that coach. I just don't see. We don't need to do it.
No.
Well, the problem is that with the professionals and everybody else, you had the top few teams that were always winning. Then they tried to make it all where it's parity, where everybody's equal and the same, and that's what everybody wants. Is they want all good games, But right now, with the portal transferring and everything else, how many more coaches are going to just give up and say, or a kid's going to come in there and demand more money and walk out? We already had it happen last year. The quarterback comes in and says, I'm done unless y'all give me another $2 or $3 million.
Yeah.
And most coaches that, of course, a lot of them that I know and grew up with and all that sort of stuff aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
But they're not going to let some kid come in there and dictate, something like that. And that's when it's really going to turn and go south. The whole programs.
The greatest thing about sports, it builds characters, discipline, confidence, never give in, never give up. I think those, hard coaching, that was, basketball, football, baseball. And I know that's the big three. At least it used to be. I'll say that. Some people get mad when I say that, but that used to be the case. All those things you learned they're gone. You can talk back to a coach now. You would never talk back to your coach. They had all the power. They were unbelievable. And it was just a great learning experience. Now you're taught, hey, I'm not going to, that's tough. I'm not going to do that. I'm giving up. I'll go play somewhere else. What we do, and I say it all the time, we go to war with China. They outnumber us like 5-1. Wait a minute. I don't think we might win this one. I think I'm going to go join China. I mean, it's just, I don't like the mindset. I think they're ruining everything.
Well, common sense is a thing of the past in most all aspects of life now.
Yeah.
You know, common sense, you know, somebody's got to come in. Why did they not say, instead of us jumping right into this, opening the floodgates and just letting everything, you know, the cards fall where they may, you know, why did somebody not sit down and say, look, we need to put a cap on it. Okay, we're going to say that the quarterback should be able to make this much money. We've got the running backs make this much, and the receivers, and go all the way down the line, and this is where it's capped off. Then at least you've got a target that everybody knows what they're going to and what we're going to deal with. But the way it is now, anybody can go anywhere they want to for as many times and walk away. There's no contract. I mean, has anybody said that these kids are even going to class? They still have to
they don't care.
To class they don't care. That they have to go to class to be eligible?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? If the administrator says, "Hey, man, he hasn't been to class in 3 weeks. You know, he's not going to be able to play this week."
There's
already $5 million.
Right.
Starting quarterback.
There's already a school right now that's not eligible for a bowl game next year. They're coming up, not this past year. The coming up year, Akron cannot play in a bowl game because their GPA towards graduation is so poor. So they can't. They don't qualify. You have to have so many. I don't see how anybody qualifies when everybody traps.
I honestly, you know, basket weaving and, you know, sunrise watching, you know, those classes, you know, are pretty simple.
You're right about the common sense thing. I don't know what would happen if they just said, look, the SEC commissioner, Big Ten commissioner, ACC, Big 12, if they all said, you know what, we're not going to play these athletes. We are a amateur sport. If they don't want to come here and play, they don't have to come here and play. We're going to give you a scholarship. And I'd have fought it every way I could have. And maybe they did, and I'm just being ignorant about it. But we did it for all those years. That scholarship meant everything. Now it's not the scholarship, it's about how much money you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. And
how can you give in?
You know,
I don't understand it. I really don't. My little brain can't comprehend those things.
Like I said last year, you know, when all the big money pocket people are going to eventually pass away, get old.
Yep.
Their families are not going to keep contributing multi-millions of dollars a year to keep some young kid happy, you know, to come play football.
I'm with you. If I had the money, I would not go get to Southern Mississippi or Alabama to buy players. I would not do that. Because I know how important it is, and you do too. You know how important it was to play, to get that scholarship, to play at that level, and the things you learn, you don't learn anymore. The sacrifice you used to learn, you don't have that anymore.
No, there's no loyalty. You know, loyalty's out the window.
Now, I'd give money to build a building. I'd give money for facilities for the players, chow hall, things like that. But to buy a player, Jeremy, I just don't get that. I know they can go to the country club and say, oh, yeah, number 22.
I thought they ruled slavery out, where you go out and buy a human being and put them out there and let them get beat half to death. And
that's my boy over there.
And not only that, the first time that you give money to a human being, or you give a guy, you think, man, you're the best thing in the world, and midway through the season, or the season's over with, and he says, I'm not playing in the bowl game. I'm going on the out in the portal and see what's there next year. So, what?
Yeah. I don't mind the kids getting money. We used to get laundry money. Then they quit doing that too. You got money, and then they took that away from you.
And what people don't realize is that people like Yellowwood and all them, they got a pot full of money. But when he passes away, that pot is going to be divided up in about 20 different ways.
Yeah.
That pot ain't very near as big anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna come to a head one day, and to be honest with you, I'm kind of fed up with it, and I'm just.
Yeah, I'm not near as excited as I usually am.
Right.
I am excited, but not like I was. I used to.
But none of you are going to boycott football season, are you?
No, I'll be watching. I'll be watching. Let's keep it real.
I'll watch it and I'll pay attention, but I don't buy. I didn't buy season tickets last year, and I'm not buying season.
I didn't go to one Alabama game last year.
Can't afford them.
You went to a couple.
I went to the Wisconsin game.
Yeah, I didn't go to a game. Did you go to any last? Well, you're working all the time. All right, listen. Hey, Rob, thanks for the call, buddy.
All right,
you
guys,
always enlighten us. Thank you so much for the information. Love you, man.
Jeremy, thanks for coming in and taking care of me.
Josh is here too. Josh is sitting right there.
Thank you, Rob.
Have a good day.
Bye, Rob.
All right,
Love
bye.
you, man. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. I tell you, we have Turf Pro Pest Control. Do you want that yard look beautiful? We can do it. Patrick can do it. Give them a call. They'll come out. They'll execute a game plan. It will be beautiful. Listen to Patrick every Monday, 8:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Steve's Bike Shop. Man, are you guys looking for a bike for your kids or anything like that? Are you looking for these new electrical bikes? Which I think I'll be honest with you now, I think they go way too fast. But anyway, electrical bikes, these things are incredible. My roommate in college had foot injury. Him and his wife have a couple. You can get the best right there, Steve's Bike Shop. They've been serving Bay County since 1979.
Don't forget all you people down here for Iron Man.
Oh,
if you
that's
need,
right.
You need stuff, you need a chain, or you need pedals, or you need
your
gear.
iron
They
is
got
low, get down to
everything
Steve
there.
Bike Shop. No doubt about that. Tires.
This weekend.
They can do it all. I tell you, he's incredible. They got the old-fashioned bikes. They got the electric bikes. They got used bikes. They repair. They do it all. Steve's Bike Shop. And, you know, he used to be a swim. He is a swim coach. The guy's incredible. Love him. And I didn't mention this, and I feel bad. I forgot to say this morning. If you could help us, and I tell you what, we got somebody else we're going to be praying for, but Ryan Mulvey's going through something. I want you, at this time, I'd like for you all say a little prayer for Wildcat. We love him. He's got a big doctor's appointment today.
Big day.
Battling something, and we'll let you know more about it later. But y'all say a little prayer for Wildcat. Notice Jeremy did this morning. Thank God for Jeremy. He did that this morning for you. He's got a big time doctor's appointment. Say a little prayer for him and Ryan Mulvey. We're helping Ryan right now. If you go GoFundMe, search in where it says search, type in Ryan and his fight. I know you hear him on the radio and you think everything, he's fine. He's in a tough battle right now. There's no doubt about that. We're doing everything we can. If you can give to GoFundMe, I'd appreciate it. They get a portion of the cut. If you could bring it to our station, write a check out to Ryan Mulvey, no cash.
204 Ellen Lane.
Yeah, put it in an envelope.
Big lock box out front on the door.
Randy will make sure he gets it. I've had a lot of people give me money to give to him. If it's a check, he got it. If it's cash, I take a huge chunk out of that for my fees. But anyway, help Ryan Mulvey. Pray for him and Wildcat. We'd appreciate that. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The ESPN Northwest Florida Big Bracket Challenge.
Hi, this is Dave Meat from Panama City Beach, and I just won $250 from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida playing the Big Bracket Challenge. Thank you so much to Pepsi, Panama City, Toyota, UCB Hobby for making this happen. It was a lot of fun playing against other listeners and staff. Can't wait till next year. And go Ducks!
It's ESPN Northwest Florida. Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Thursday's weather forecast. Partly cloudy and a likelihood of thunderstorms this afternoon and evening with a high near 79 and a wind 8 to 12 miles per hour. A possibility of thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies tonight and a temperature of 72. About the same tomorrow, around 77 with a likelihood of thunderstorms. A likelihood of thunderstorms and light showers Saturday and warm around 76. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Best Way Portable Buildings reminds you to remember Mom this Mother's Day. I'll bet your mom would love a screened-in patio to help keep those mosquitoes, yellow flies, and no-see-ums away. She deserves only the best, and Best Way Portable Buildings is the best, period, when it comes to screen enclosures, pole barns, and, of course, portable buildings. Just north of the mall on Highway 231 and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. Best Way Portable Buildings, a Golden Age builder.
Want Want to experience the ultimate car wash? At Tommy's Express, you'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading, flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Try us for free. Text WASH 415 to 86697 to send our best wash, The Works, directly to your phone. You'll love the sudsy clean, ceramic wax, underbody flush, spot-free rinse, and tire gloss. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today. Offer valid to new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional and information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
The number one SEC call-in show is now twice as big. It's double the Paul Feinbaum Show. Weeknights starting at 6.
Okay, but also go faster.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
2, 3, Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! FSU Update is brought to you by the one and the only Newbies. We got 4 great locations. I tell you what, that bike week, I was really, truly impressed how things were organized, how they got people in, how people got out. It was completely packed out. The security there does a great job, but they had things set up like I never even would think of. They had a huge tents everywhere, all this different kind of merchandise that was incredible, all kinds of specials, food, drink, everything. Of course, I shouldn't be surprised. John and Charlotte are the best at what they do. They're incredible people. Both of them look so. I saw John yesterday playing racquetball. He didn't age. I mean, look, he could play NFL right now. And Charlotte's absolutely gorgeous. And they got good hearts. They're always giving back to community. I can't say enough good things about both of them. I love both of them. Now, get out and support them. I remember when we were doing the show, I think the first year, they wanted, I don't know if I keep saying this stuff because people will start hitting them up, but anyway, the dogs, they helped out with that. The fire department, they just wonderful people. Go support all the newbies. Newbies Still on the Curve, go watch all sporting events. Head on down to the mothership. She's going to have the best bands in the Southeast down there all summer. And you are, even during spring break, you're safe there. They got their own security. They do a great job. Get out, newbies, have a great time. All right, FSU. Jeremy, I don't think the FSU people are going to like this. CBS came out with their bowl. We already have our bowl lineup for 2025. We don't even have to play the games.
Okay.
Let's start out with it, and I'll get to FSU, I think. Here we go. Citrus Bowl. I'm not going to be happy with this because I think they're going to make the playoffs. This is my wild pick. This is kind of an out and left field pick. With a 9-3 record, the Gators did not go play in the Citrus Bowl. They're going to make the playoffs. But CBS, they don't agree with me. They have the Florida Gators playing the Michigan Wolverines in the Citrus Bowl. Okay? In the Gator Bowl.
I'm glad Alabama doesn't play them this year.
Me too. Me too. All right, the Gator Bowl this year, they're better. Does it keep his job? I think he's on the hot seat big time. Oklahoma is improved. They have a better record, but not much. Oklahoma people are not going to be satisfied with the record. But they get to go to the Gator Bowl, and they're going to play Louisville, okay? The Quest Bowl, a lot of hype on both these teams. One of them made it last year, the playoffs. This year, there have been a lot of people getting a lot of love on South Carolina, maybe making the playoffs. They are going to be good. Somebody has them beating Alabama at home this year. That won't surprise me at all. They should have won the game in Tuscaloosa, or could have won the game in Tuscaloosa. But the Quest Bowl's got South Carolina versus Indiana. Now, I'm going to save this one for the last. I'm going to save FSU's bowl game for the last. The Music City Bowl. In a disappointing season, which I disagree with the CBS on this one. I think they're going to have a better season than this. But they don't agree with me. The Ole Miss Rebels, with their new starting quarterback, doesn't have the year that I thought. They go to the Music City Bowl, and they play a team that really thought maybe might make the playoffs in Illinois. They did not have the year that they expected. I think they're going to have a good year. Look out for Illinois. But they got Ole Miss and Illinois playing Music City. Both teams underachieve, in my opinion, because I think they're both to be better than that. The Texas Bowl, you got the Texas A&M Aggies versus a much improved Baylor team. Who does Baylor open up with week 1?
Auburn.
War Eagle. Yes, this is going to be interesting. Elko, I think A&M's going to be better than this. I really do. Gasparilla Bowl, in a very disappointing year with only 7 wins. The Heat, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of chatter. Does he keep his job? If he loses his bowl game, maybe not. Auburn playing Memphis. Was that in Tampa? Gasparilla Bowl?
Yep.
Tampa. I don't think
Raymond
Auburn
Jackson.
people are going to be happy with that.
No, that would not.
And I would be disappointed. I think Auburn, I think you're going to have to watch out for Auburn. I think it'll be very good, much improved. Responders Bowl, I did this for Richard Sanders. He loves Georgia Tech, and I do. I like their head coach. He coached for Saban at Alabama. He knows what he's doing. Anyway, Georgia Tech will play West Virginia. Las Vegas Bowl, they're tied in with the SEC, but guess what? No SEC team. Not enough qualified. Nebraska will play Arizona State. The Liberty Bowl, in his first year in college football, Bill Belichick, the legend, not the year he wanted, but they do make a bowl game. North Carolina will play Tulane in the Military Bowl. The Liberty Bowl, Missouri, kind of stepping backward, not taking that step forward. I think they're going to have a pretty good ball club. I really do. But the CBS doesn't think as much as I do of them. They're going to play, Missouri is going to play Kansas in the Liberty Bowl. And in the Birmingham Bowl, I wouldn't mind going to watching this one.
Okay.
You got Sam Pittman fighting for his job. He might keep it one more year because he has a winning record. He's going to the Birmingham Bowl. He wins it. He has a shot at 7 games, 7 wins instead of 6. They're going to play Central Florida. Who's the new football coach in Central Florida? He was there before. He got fired at Nebraska.
Frost, right?
Yeah, I think I'm right about it. I'm just making it up. I think I'm right. Now, where is Florida State going to play, and who are they going to play? Are the Florida State Seminoles going to be happy to play in the Mayo Bowl? I say no.
No.
They're not going to like that. But it's a lot better year than it was year before.
So what SEC team do they get?
They're going to get a team that's going to surprise you. They're going to make him not as appealing as he is right now. They screwed up and should have been prepared for this quarterback loss that they just have happened to them. And maybe they are. Maybe we don't know how good these quarterbacks are on Tennessee's roster. But you got Florida State. They open up with Alabama, the SEC. They close the season in a bowl game versus Tennessee Volunteers in the Mayo Bowl.
Oh, let's bring out T. Martin. And
what do you get? Are you going to be excited for Tennessee and FSU to play? To be honest, I'd like to watch a game like that, but not in the Mayo. Maybe in a playoff game or a bigger bowl.
Yeah. That'd be a good matchup. I mean, that's 2 programs that don't get together often. I mean, that's got,
But I'm telling you, in my opinion, you got 2 fan bases disappointed. I don't think the crowds will be there for Tennessee. That Tennessee trial is pretty good, but I don't think Tennessee's going to be happy in the Mayo Bowl. Last year they played in the playoffs. They played at Ohio State. They took over the stadium. Could this be the beginning of the wrong direction for the Tennessee Volunteers?
Yeah, I think this is pretty fascinating with all their recent controversy over the past few weeks with Nico. This is going to be a telling few weeks.
Could be interesting.
And I think it'll have ripples across the whole NIL spectrum. If they pull it off and they go well and they moved on from someone because they held their ground, they weren't going to pay their money.
Yeah.
Others may follow. Yeah. But if they collapse, oh gosh, we got to find more money.
Josh, will the FSU fan base go, look, this is not where we want to be. This is not where we could be. This is not where we're going to be. But we're here this year. Are they going to leave him alone and build on this? Because it was a better year than the year before, but it's still FSU standards, Bobby Bowden, Jimbo Fisher. It's still not. What do you think? What's the take going to be their fans, their fan base?
How quickly does Gus Malzahn get his little bus going, Because it's really, you got to be able to score some more points than they have the last couple of years. And, that obviously, that wins games. So I don't know about the expectations, I'm an Auburn fan, so I'm used to failed expectations. So, and them not being as high. So, I don't know. We'll see if they, if they can score some points and it'd be some fun football to watch. And, even if they're in some close battles and drop some, we'll see how that ends.
I think they should be positive because the buyout is so much is crazy. And let's be honest, they don't have the big time NIL money like the other schools have. I mean, it's amazing the amount of money. Texas is spending between $35 and $40 million in this coming up year's roster. Their schools don't have near that kind of money to do that. So I think they should be patient and maybe everything's heading back in the right direction for FSU, but we shall see. We get back, Jeremy Pritchard's got the Alabama update. We got Auburn, and we got some breaking news right here from Josh. We're going to get that in today. I think you're going to be interested in this. I know I am. Right now, let's talk about Stevenson Air Conditioning. I don't know anybody that owns a company does a better job than Stevenson Air Conditioning. Locals taking care of locals. The young man graduated from Mosley High School. One of the most honest guys I know. The crew that worked there, incredible people. Honest, hard-working people. Don't go with National. Go with Stevenson Air Conditioning. Let's go with locals. Anytime day or night breaks down, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. And they will be doing the Alabama update right now. Why did I do this early? I don't know. Chad Mitchell, the legend. 26 years on the Bay County sidelines, and I want to thank Josh. I think he was behind it. They recognized him at Arnold High School this past year for the 25th year of giving service to Bay District schools. Thank you, Josh.
Absolutely.
He deserved it. The guy's an incredible legend, incredible doctor. Call, make an appointment with the legend, Chad Mitchell. Listen to me every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Did we talk about David and Russ and Amber and great jewelry, Mother's Day, that special one lady in your life?
We talked about the Iron Man being in town and all the restaurants that are prepared for that.
Well, let's take a break then. Let's just take a break. I'll shut up. We get back. Jeremy's got the Alabama Crimson Tide. What's going on? I think he's got some good stuff for you. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Thursday's weather forecast. Partly cloudy and a likelihood of thunderstorms this afternoon and evening with a high near 79 and a wind 8 to 12 miles per hour. A possibility of thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies tonight and a temperature of 72. About the same tomorrow, around 77 with a likelihood of thunderstorms. A likelihood of thunderstorms and light showers Saturday and warm around 76. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, where the locals go for the best boiled seafood around. Crawfish, shrimp, red royals, and everything crabs. Watch almost every sporting event in the country on their huge outdoor jumbotron. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on weekly events, live music, and food and beer specials. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, your home away from home for sports, good times, and great food. The best boiled seafood. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
For the A.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
Your spot for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. Listen live nights and weekends. This is Braves Country. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tide Roll Alabama update. I just got through talking about it. Stevenson Air Conditioning, they do a wonderful job. I love those people over there. They do the best. I'm telling you, Chad Mitchell got a brand new one. Jason Kowaleski, his home, his office,
he got
brand
two
new.
of them.
Yeah,
Basically.
I mean they're that good. They don't try to take every penny you got. They don't come in and they're not used car salesmen, even though there's a lot of great used car salesmen on people I know. I'm telling you, my car's really good. I'm telling you, it's got low mileage. You really like it. I'm going to give you a deal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You going to do it?
No.
All right. Anyway, Stevenson Air Conditioner #1, not even close. Jeremy, what do you got for us today on the Alabama Crimson Tide?
So, obviously, we're nearing the end of the regular season here. Alabama baseball series with Georgia this weekend. They're sitting 37-12 overall, 13-11 in the conference. I'm going to channel my inner Danny Cannell. You know the SEC is at 500 against each other.
He always has great things to say about us, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we're just not very strong in baseball, since we started conference play.
You go look at the rankings. Yeah. Hey. Go ahead. I've got a question for you later.
And drop down to number 23, Baseball America poll. I think any chances of Alabama hosting a regional are quickly fading. Probably looking at a high 2 seed, traveling somewhere once we get into the postseason. But SEC is brutal. I mean, you go top to bottom here: Texas, LSU, Georgia, Arkansas, Auburn, Vanderbilt, Tennessee. All sitting ahead of the Crimson Tide. And those are going to be your host sites. You're not going to get, any possibility there. So, we'll see how we do in the tournament. You still plan on going, right?
I will be in Hoover. Yeah, I hope you're going to Thursday. You know you're going to be here that day, Thursday.
I've still got to check.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I wanted to go. Well, I'll tell you at next segment. Let's get into this. I'll tell you more about that.
So but it's been a good run. I think baseball's on the upswing there. They're just playing in this juggernaut of the SEC, and that's going to be tough. The bigger news to me, and I think all of us can jump in on this, obviously we had President Trump in last week in Tuscaloosa, and he had somebody that was kind of the forerunner on the warm-up act. He looked very presidential standing behind Trump's podium.
Senator Nick Saban, yeah.
And now, on the heels of that and that time together, there's a little bit of scuttle that Saban could be elevated to try to help us through this morass.
Appointed by Trump.
Yes.
Appointed by Trump.
Yeah. To co-lead the college commission. The reports are circulating that the Texas Tech Board of Regents Chair Cody Campbell and Nick Saban would chair this commission to examine the, quote, long list of issues facing college sports. Trump is very engaged because he sees the current state of college sports as national importance. And I think, at least for all of us here in this part of the world, we would agree.
Absolutely.
The ground has shifted so quickly, so rapidly, and there are a number of issues that have spiraled out. I mean, let's take Josh, with the FHSAA, at least you have a central body within a state. Now we really do have a federal question because intercollegiate athletics is not bound just to the state of Florida or state of Alabama or Georgia, where you've got member schools and you've got a body that can oversee it. So there's no patchwork available.
Well, even the high school level, there's the NFHS, that is the federal.
Right.
So that under that umbrella is your state associations. So
exactly.
In the high school, it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
College has got to do something.
So a lot of layers to break through. I think some of the hurdles, that would tie in would relate to the very things we were talking about earlier. Now, we were talking about 9-game schedules, but now you've got to deal with the particular conferences. Mm-hmm. You look at NFHS, the state associations, those umbrellas fall under. Theoretically, you would have the NCAA, which has proven itself toothless in the matter, and the conferences have only grown in stature. Yeah. And I think it's parallels. It's not apples and apples here for sure with NFHS and the state associations, but there has to be something that's more workable for member institutions related to the conferences, and then in the conferences in relation to one another. If you were appointed to the Trump Commission, where do you sort of pull the string on all the issues? Because this is what you call the wicked problem. And this is actually a term out of sociology. The wicked problem is that there's no right answer. You're just trying to choose the least wrong answer.
You're right. You're right.
There's no right answer in this.
And the first thing with NIL, that's got to be taken into control. It was never meant for recruiting purposes. It should be like like the NFL, they've got those players have a contract, but they have an agent that gets those. Like Joe Namath used to make those commercials back in the day. That was totally separate, and it should. The school shouldn't have anything to do with that. The coaches should not have anything to do with NIL. But you and I know that's not the way it is. We got to have Tom Jones. He's the best player in the country. Whatever it costs, go get him. That's got to be eliminated somehow. How? I have no idea.
Because the complexity of what you're dealing with deals with player compensation, deals with networks, it deals with conference structures that are in place. I mean, and I know a commission can sit here and begin to identify all of these things that we sit here and talk about week to week. And I do think that Saban has a credibility that lends, an expertise from the field. But then you're going to have some who critique him by saying, look at the millions of dollars that you've made on the backs of players.
That's going on forever.
It's gone on forever. So where's some equity in the ground that shifted? Because you can't go back to what was. The genie's out of the bottle.
My equity would be, once you graduate from college, go into coaching and win as many games as him. Then you'll have your equity.
Mm-hmm. I
don't think that'll work, though.
I think the weak link and all this, just happen to be well versed in this because of what I do every day, is the collectives is where, because at the high school level those are not permissible. You can't have collectives. But at the college level, I mean, that's literally just somebody associated with a school that is collecting all this money to pay. And there's no deal really being made with a company, right? So like at the amateur level of FHA, it's illegal. And then I see a difference. I know that the magnitude of the dollar amounts are a lot different, but the collectives is really the driving force behind a lot of the recruiting and those kind of things that are going on. If it was just authentic NIL with no school association, I don't think you'd see as much as this.
Look at the NFL. The owners have nothing to do with the NIL for the professional athletes. They're not involved in that whatsoever. Mm-hmm. They're not getting, that's not happening there. We got to copy what the NFL does.
Well, and there's an interesting sort of
that's a great point you made.
Prophetic nature of Saban. He's called some things along the way in sports. If you go to the playoff, you're going to diminish the bowl games. Well, we know they're sitting empty. They're infomercials now. If you go down this road, and he's had this way of being a prognosticator. Now, I know he's exclusively football focused because NIL is not just football. Mm-hmm. You've got gymnasts who have been able to cash in considerably, and others
football money.
No, off their own money. I take Olivia Dunn at LSU.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the sport.
You're talking about, I'm just talking about the individual, name, image, likeness as it was originally intended, has not been equitable as people have been able to sort of market themselves, which was the intent. But you're right. I mean, the subsidy piece is there. So this is just, to me, a pretty fascinating development that happened because of the time they spent together.
I got to give Tuberville credit, too, now. He was on the plane with him to Tuscaloosa, and then so they got Saban involved in it. And Trump, he tells you something, he didn't lie. He will probably do something about this. They even talked about executive order, but I guess executive orders, would that hold up in court? What they do, take it to the Supreme Court?
It'll eventually be challenged. I mean, because once you begin to make these moves, there are going to be those who feel slighted that are going to seek relief in the courts. I mean, this is not going to be a quick fix on the matter. Look, when the UCLA players were the first ones to kind of bring the suit around name, image, and likeness that led to the ruling. How many years was that start to finish? It was several years. So
look how NIL's already affected the NFL draft. You look at Sanders' son, got ability. Went in there and ruined himself with the interviews because the entitlement that these college players have more power than their coaches now. And that never happened in the past.
Right.
Everything's been turned upside down. We got to take a break.
Yeah, I don't want to because this is really good conversation. But
I'm glad we got Josh on today because he got different. I thought about what you said about the high schools in the state compared to college. I think we need to get Josh up there with Saban.
Co-chair.
Yeah, co-chair.
No, I'm okay.
I'm okay. Anyway. All right, let's talk to some of our great people. We want you to use Stevenson Air Conditioning. It's going to save you money. It's going to save you money on your power bill. They're going to save you your unit that you have now. If you have them come, no matter if you went with them or not, when you bought your unit, have them come service it twice a year, right before summer, right before winter. It's going to make it last longer. Your power bill will go down. You're going to save money. Okay? Number 2, if you got an old one, some of them are so old, ours were so old they couldn't do anything with it because of the new laws and all this kind of stuff that was going on. Now, get you a new one. Go with Stevenson. They're going to save you money when you purchase it. They're going to service it throughout the lifetime of it, and it's going to save you money. It'll pay for itself over a period of time because your power bill is going to be cut like you won't believe. Go local, go Stevenson Air Conditioning. They are number 1. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant, the best fried shrimp you will get anywhere. It's all about the seasoning. Great burgers, steaks, pork chops, seafood, second to none. And they got the ice cold beer, the legendary J. Michael's. We're live in J. Michael's studios right now. Get in and have a great time. Beef O'Brady's. I'll talk about Beef O'Brady's in just a second. But I tell you what, I love Russ. I love Amber. They gave me great deals. I bought my daughter a beautiful ring, my beautiful wife, whatever she wants. I bought her something. I can't remember what. I think it was a necklace. If you want a deal and you want to take care of your mother or your wife, your girlfriend, or girlfriends in Wildcat's case, get down to David Adamson's. Yeah.
And if you, Mother's Day's just around the corner, they got the new spring selection. They've got it all laid out for you. They've got prices ranging
Wildcat, didn't you say they'll design anything you want?
Anything you want.
What about if we had Bay County?
I tell you what I did. I walked in there, and on literally on a little piece of paper, I drew this necklace right here. And I drew it, and he pulled it up on a little computer and refined my drawing.
Well, think about this. What about Bay County championship ring, necklace,
Absolutely.
whatever?
Great idea.
All you coaches out there, listen, they will work with you. The baseball team in Arnold, the state championship soccer team, the weightlifting teams, everything right there. Josh, you listening?
There's a lot of
no
them.
comment.
There's a lot of that they already have, lined up in their computer that they can show you.
Josh, just give me a billfold. I'll go make sure everything's done. We'll be right back. 104.3. We get back to Auburn Tiger, and we got some breaking news. We have got some breaking news right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. You're going to hear it here first. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
It's all a bunch of crap, man. I mean, it's a bunch of crap.
But different lines says one of unbelievable, amazing, incredible, legendary. Then ... I'm a guy.
And you got Wildcat flipping on the bird, and then that number 1.
You don't know what I put up with this, man.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Thursday's weather forecast. Partly cloudy and a likelihood of thunderstorms this afternoon and evening with a high near 79 and a wind 8 to 12 miles per hour. A possibility of thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies tonight and a temperature of 72. About the same tomorrow, around 77 with a likelihood of thunderstorms. A likelihood of thunderstorms and light showers Saturday and warm around 76. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Now in stock at Tommy Autos.
2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude. Luxury at a value price. $13,995 or a 2017 Hyundai Santa Fe Sport with one owner. Sporty and affordable. $11,995 at Tommy Autos.
Buy here, pay here, financing options available. Everyone is approved. Tommy Autos, 2209 West 15th Street, Panama City. Call 850-960-8664. For the latest deals and specials, follow Tommy Autos on Facebook at Tag Tax and Title.
Get your mom a beautiful color gemstone that she'll cherish and wear for a lifetime from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. And just in time, Tracy's Fine Jewelry is offering our entire collection of color gemstone jewelry, rings, earrings, pendants, and bracelets at 60% off. That's right, 60% off our entire selection. The largest selection and the lowest prices are just some of the reasons why people choose Tracy's Fine Jewelry to find the perfect gift for Mother's Day. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, 2621 East 15th Street in Panama City.
It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
A lot more excitement is yet to come.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle, hey, Martha, Kenny, James, Jenna, all you great Auburn Tigers, especially go to a certain church in this town, War Eagle. How does it work? Now, you're an Auburn guy. You get up, you go to church on Sunday, and the guy preaches incredible, and he ties it into sports, which really I love. But deep down, he's a Bama guy. But it works at that church. They love him. You wouldn't hear, you wouldn't believe the good things they say about you.
Well, it's a great group. I mean, we're really blessed.
They truly love you there. And I knew it because they loved him in Montgomery, too. I mean, I knew people that went to that church in Montgomery. They think the world of you, and so do I. You are a great man. But anyway, Auburn Tiger, get out to B4 Braves in Lynn Haven. They do a unbelievable job. I love the customer service down there. Before we get into Auburn, Pat Purnell, I love you, City Commissioner, B4 Braves, Lynn Haven. Let's jump in on breaking news here in Bay County. Take it over, Josh, our county AD.
So breaking, I don't know how much the breaking, there we go, Wildcat. So we have gone through a couple series of trying to add a couple opportunities for our athletes over the last couple of years, and going into my second year. We've added beach volleyball for some high schools, which had successful years. We have our all-county selection meeting with the coaches this afternoon. It was a great pilot season for them. Middle school, trying to add some more middle school sports. Got a chance to add cross country last year and looking for more opportunities, battling some logistics, trying to advance that. But we just got past that we're going to add girls flag football as an FHJ sanctioned sport for next year. So how that's going to look, it's a spring sport, so it'll be in the spring. There are some petitions up above my level that are trying to make it a fall sport, but it's for girls who are interested in flag football, and it's a great opportunity. It's the number one fastest growing sport in America right now.
My granddaughter played, the first time she played organized flag football, the coach was Ron Movey. He did an incredible job. As you know, he likes running the score up on people. And then she played for the Beach Baptist Church there. Laura, they had cheerleaders for them. They had boys and girls competing. It wasn't just female. It was boys and girls going against each other, cheerleaders for both sides. They do it right at First Baptist, Panama City Beach. Incredible. They do it right behind the church there. And I love this. It's another way of keeping them involved in sports, keeping their grades up. Now, let me ask you this. With flag football, does the coach have to be in the building? Can you, maybe the head coach, but what about assistant?
Yeah, so with the FHA, it's part of our FLDOE. You can either have to have a coaching certificate through the Florida Department of Education.
Well, it's not that hard to get.
No, it's a 3-year temporary, which is like $75 to go in and apply on the website. And then you have to coach 3 years until you get your 5-year professional. Then you got to take a couple classes, which is online. It's pretty manageable. Or you can have your instructional license to be a teacher, and those are the two ways that you're able to be able to coach. Or you can go strictly on volunteer, which there's paperwork at the schools for that.
I love that, man. This is I think this is huge. I love this.
So we're going to have it at 4 schools. We're just going to try to do it all, and we're going to have it at Arnold, at Bay, at Mosley, and Rutherford. And we're going to have it at 4 schools, and there's Okaloosa, Leon, everybody is already kind of, seasoned with already having these programs.
So they'll be playing all the county schools, then they'll go?
Yep. From Pensacola to Jacksonville, there's probably a total of about 25, 30 teams.
Wow. Okay. I love it, man. I think that's outstanding. Great job, Josh. Great job.
We're excited about that. Yep.
I think the volleyball was outstanding to do that. Jeremy, you and I might have to come in retirement as flag football. I think we would dominate.
Yeah, we would.
Hey, if we do it, you're going to think we're Nick Saban and Bear Bryant together in flag football women.
There you go.
I love that, man. We used to have that, what do you call it, the Powderpuff game in Arnold?
Yeah.
It was flag football. Every year we did it. Made great money, and those girls are competitive like you would not believe.
Absolutely.
Wow.
My petition is with the FSA with Craig this weekend at our conferences was to make it a fall sport. So how Alabama and Georgia do it, they have if it's a fall sport, then you have your flag football game at 5:30 on a Thursday, Friday, and then you have your varsity tackle football following. So it's a doubleheader, and they make it an event. They do it really well.
They have a big to do about it.
Big to do. Yeah.
Is it going to be 100 yards?
No, the field is condensed.
I think it's 60.
Yeah, it's 60.
Yeah.
And then,
okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
It's 80, I think, in length with the end zones. But we have a nice little robot that paints that nowadays. So,
well, think about it, though. If you do it in the spring, you got there's no conflict with the football field. So I get it. I get it.
Facilities was one of the hurdles we had to jump through, even in the spring, because you have track and field and different, spring footballs.
Anything else you're looking to do in the future, or you got to keep it quiet right now?
I'm going to keep working behind the scenes to make a couple of things happen.
Good.
So
I know.
Not stopping with this. It's just another.
I know a couple of them we've talked about. And I hope they happen. I really hope they. I think you get them younger, in middle school. I think middle school sports are huge.
Yep.
Love to see something there, but that's great, Josh. That's outstanding. All right, let's jump into Auburn. I don't agree with some of these polls. I think Auburn belongs in a lot of the postseasons, top 25. You have all these different ones coming out, CBS, ESPN, Fox, you name it. Andy Staples comes out with his On 3. Auburn's ranked 13th in the country in his preseason poll. I like that. I get it. Last year's season sucked. I get it if you're an Auburn fan. 3 years in a row losing football games, losing seasons. That doesn't happen at Auburn. I think it's history right now. The Cal game, they could have won. Arkansas, they could. Oklahoma, they handed the game. And I will say it's coaching. I'll say it right here. They gave that game away. Missouri, that's 4 games right there they could have won. Okay? And quite honestly, should have won those ball games if you're Auburn. And a lot of those games were at home. I think most of them were at home. USA Today, I don't agree with them whatsoever. They have Auburn. This is the preseason predictions for the season. They've got Auburn winning just 7 games. They got Auburn going 7-5. They got Auburn's going to beat Baylor, Ball State, South Alabama, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kentucky, and Mercer. They got them losing to A&M, Georgia, Arkansas, and Vandy and Alabama.
Arkansas.
You and I both know, and you do too, if Auburn's ranked, home game in Jordan-Hare, Alabama's not going to win. When have they ever done? I don't think they've ever beaten a ranked team at Auburn.
When Auburn's had 9 wins in a season,
forget it. Yeah. So anyway, we all know the question mark. How good's a quarterback going to be? They got good players at every position. I've said it over and over again. This is a new roster. Give him credit. He's done a great job in recruiting, NIL, and the high school ranks. He's knocked it out of the ballpark. There's no doubt. So it's time to win. Come on, Hugh. All right, this is the SEC post-spring power rankings. Number 1 team in the country. I don't agree with this one. I'm talking top 16. I don't agree with, but they all listen to it right now. Number 1, they've got the Texas Longhorns, not Georgia, not Kirby, but Stark and Texas. When you spend $35 to $40 million, you better have the best team in that league. Number 2 is Kirby Smart in Georgia. Number 3, I'm saying watch out for them. They're going to be good. LSU, quarterback's back. They got players. They're loaded. Number 4, get this, Jeremy. Number 4, Ole Miss Rebels. Ole Miss Rebels. I'm telling y'all, watch out. I like that quarterback. He's young. I watched him last year when he played a little bit against Georgia. I thought he did a really good job. This might be the year they surprise everybody. Number 5, they're back. I told you they're back. The Florida Gators. Numbers over Alabama. Florida at number 5.
That's oof. Hope that was wrong.
Toughest schedule, maybe the toughest schedule in college football. Number 6, Alabama. Number 7, Tennessee. We've already mentioned this. Number 8, Texas. Wait a minute. Well, that's amazing. I wrote Tennessee 7 and 8, so we'll come back to that. I'll screw that up.
One Vandy?
No, number 9. I messed that up. I got to go back and look at this. Number 9, Missouri. Number 10, Texas A&M. Number 11, Vandy. Vandy's over number 12, Oklahoma. Number 13, Auburn. Number 14, Arkansas. And, of course, the school nobody cares about, Kentucky. At 15, I said that just for you. I love Kentucky. I was kidding.
I know you do.
And Mississippi State is struggling. It's one of the poorest schools. Now, baseball, that's one of the best jobs in all of baseball. Football right now.
Hard.
It's hard. It's really hard. I disagree with these. I don't like these power rankings. But maybe they're onto something. What did you think about Auburn being 13th?
Sounds like they put it in ChatGPT and let AI rank it. I don't know. Yeah. I think it's going to come down to just who doesn't get beat up the most. Everybody's going to beat up on each other and
who can stay healthy.
That's it.
Who has the easier schedule. I say it every single year in high school football. The key is injuries and the key is scheduling. When you've been down for a lot of years, you can schedule some wins. When you start winning, nobody wants to play you. Your schedule's going to be difficult, just like in basketball, football, baseball, all of them. All right, it's time to take a break. I do have some more on Auburn baseball, but it looks like Wildcat doesn't want me to do that. Thank you, Wildcat.
You can do it when we come back.
Okay, thanks, buddy.
I'll let you.
All right, let's talk about Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. You want a great meal today? You want to go watch? You want to feel like you're at home, like they know your name? That's how you're treated there. Pat Perno trains people like no other. He's the city commissioner. His restaurant, Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven, is the best out there. Always giving back to the community. I remember years we'd go do TV shows. Our football games were on TV back in the day, and we'd go have meetings there and stuff, and he always took care of us. We recorded TV shows there. Yeah, they're great. Great people. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Go out there and have a wonderful time. When you're down that way, go see Russ and Amber. And it's like Wildcat said now 3 times, it's Mother's Day. Mother's Day's coming up. Is this weekend?
Yeah, the 10th, yeah.
It is this weekend? I did not know that. Anyway, they've got some great jewelry down there. Anyway, I'll say something.
830 Highway 77 in Lynn Haven.
Thank you. I was waiting.
If you can dream it up, they can build it for you.
You dream it, you build it, they will come.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, I can't say enough good things about Dr. Ward. The guy's incredible, great baseball coach, great what he does, great doctor, great man, highly intelligent graduated from the great Florida Gators. I mean, Florida, you got to be highly intelligent to get in there. But anyway, if his skin does not look right, feel right, 5 minutes can save your life. I say this all the time. Females, God bless them, breast cancer has affected our life in a lot of different ways. You got to check yourself all the time for that, and also skin cancer. Those two are at the top of those things. Dr. Ward can solve one of them. If it doesn't look right, feel right, go see Dr. Ward. 5 minutes can save your life. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Josh, Jeremy, Wildcat. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
Yeah, who doesn't, go out and shoot 4 straight rounds of 61, 63, 66, 63? That's the way I normally play when I'm playing Tiger Woods on the old Xbox. But it was really impressive. And Scheffler is such an underrated competitor.
Join Ryan Mulvey.
I do very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Introducing Water Clear Pools, the home of the 10-week pool guarantee. We guarantee custom pool completion from permit to your first swim in 10 weeks or less. Water Clear Pools is the premier pool builder for the Margaritaville development on Highway 79. Free quotes and custom pools anywhere in Northwest Florida. Call now, 850-835-4177, or see our website, waterclearpool.com. Licensed and insured. License number CPC 1459723.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
Are you hungry for authentic Mexican cuisine? Then come to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, where we serve up the freshest, most flavorful dishes on the beach. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, a great location, comfortable atmosphere, and happy hour from 3 to 7. Buy one, get one free, regular margaritas and 12-ounce house drafts. And you're going to love their lunch specials Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. Plus live music Wednesdays and Saturdays starting at 5:30. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, Thomas Drive, across from the Navy base. And 10908 Front Beach Road. And here we go.
The #1 SEC call-in show is now twice as big. The Paul Feinbaum Show. Weekday evening 6 to 10. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We got Jeremy, Josh. I tell you what, we can't talk about it now, but we're going to have a show come up here soon that you're going to love, and it's going to be interesting. I'll just put it that way.
You might need to take a walk.
Yeah. You got me in a bad mood now. I'm really upset about that.
My bad.
No, that's incredible. Jeremy, both of you guys, this thing will never happen. and I don't know who proposed it. It was some kind of a bill being proposed or talked about being proposed that would force most head football coaches, their salary to be cut. Not going to happen, because then they would have a lawsuit. Kirby Smart would lose about $12 million. They were saying this is what they would like to see happen in college athletics, that you can multiply whatever it costs to go to this university by 10. Okay? Enrollment figure by 10. That's what the college coaches would make. So Kirby would go from 13.4, whatever it is, 13.28. He would drop down. He would lose $12.42 million a year. That's not going to, when I saw that, not going to happen.
So you starting to GoFundMe for Kirby?
Yeah, I would. He deserved it. Dabo's, Stark, they'd all be killing. There'd be a new governing body, and new rules for athletes. And the bill would strip the power from the NCAA, create the American College Sports Association. That's who would be running it. A new federal body oversees college athletics, college sports. The commissioner would be appointed by the President Trump, and he would have to be confirmed by Senate. Is this what Nick Saban's, is this what the game plan, is this kind of tied into this? Because these are the rumors, these are things said behind the scenes are going to be going forward. I see no way that the coaches' salaries would be cut. I don't. A lot of them not even paid by the university. They're paid by outside boosters and things like that. So I don't, but this other thing being appointed by President Trump and confirmed by the Senate, that could happen. That could go on, because you just got through. Now here's the deal with NIL. It would be regulated, revenue, TV sharing, everything, you throw it in a pot, and it would be divided equally amongst the athletes. In other words, you got a quarterback, you're paying $4 million now to go to Miami. No, you're going to throw all that money in a pot. It's divided up by the 50 players on the team, or how many, whatever that number is. That's the way I'm reading it. Not the starters, but whoever. That's what I'm hearing. The other things that are going to be in that bill they want going forward: no transfer rules. You can leave anytime you want. You got the same power as the coaches have. What do you think about this?
It's dead on arrival. Again, go back to this wicked problem. It's one of the things people see, but if you start to focus here, you focused, I think, on the wrong thing. It's sort of a byproduct of what we're talking about, but it's not the issue.
Yeah. I like you know what, though? The revenue sharing, I like that. But the NIL is totally different. I don't think you can put that into one general pot and divide it up by every player equally, because that's individual. I mean, if you're a superstar, it's like the NFL. They want you to make a commercial because everybody knows who you are in the country, not because you're the third-team player like I was.
Yeah.
That's Southern Mississippi. So I think that's definitely out. But the revenue sharing, that's the way it should be. Across the board, everybody gets paid. Because without the second team, you can't practice and get better. I get that.
Yeah. It's you certainly have to have everybody there. And then look at the NFL structure. I mean, again, apples and oranges, but there's certainly higher valuations that are placed on individuals on certain positions on the field. And I guess that's the market that determines that.
We shall see going forward. The crazy world we live in today. I want to go back to high school sports. You made a great comment off the air. I don't like the direction our state's heading in anything. You used to have districts. You knew who your district were. You knew which teams you had to play, and you knew you're going to play in the playoffs. Then it went to play, and it happened down where I was at down Southwest Florida. I'll never forget. Manatee, Southeast, and Bradenton. All three of those teams in the same district. All three of the teams would beat anybody else in the state of Florida. They were that talented. So that's where all those hype about we need to have the runner-up also get in the playoffs. It all happened down that part of the state for that reason right there. And they're right. All three of those teams were powerhouses. So they got to that. And now we got voting, max prep. The state It is not truly like a southern state, and it bothers me. We don't pay our teachers, our coaches, hardly anything. Everybody's going to Georgia. They're trying to correct that. I talked to Jerry Risser about that at the game at the Arnold game. I said, we got to start paying these teachers. He knows it. They know it. And we're losing teachers to other counties. We're losing teachers to other states. But, Jeremy, let's just focus in on the baseball, the thing we talked about. And Josh has got to be careful. He can't say much because he's a county AD. But what I saw at Arnold, the officiating in that game shocked me. Talk about the way that crew, I understand, had them for both games, as maybe for some others. What did y'all do in the great state of Alabama where sports is king? What did y'all do there differently than they do in Florida?
So I think the part that's different, and I've called in both states, I've called in Florida, I've called in Alabama. Alabama high school has a little more centralized control of the officiating, where in Florida your local associations are, a little more in charge. But come playoff time, there would be 96 series in the 7 classes that you had there, and you get a call from Montgomery, director of officiating. They say, okay, you got 7 crews going out round 1. And our evaluations committee inside the association would then look at the people we had available.
All right, say that again. Everybody out there hears it. Evaluation. Go ahead.
Our evaluations committee would sit down and go, okay, these are the matchups we have. And you do look at the quality, and you know some things, but you don't know everything because you're being sent to different parts of the state. We could not work any of our schools that we had contracts with during the year. And so we might find ourselves in Dothan,
I like that,
or Birmingham or Huntsville or Gadsden or Mobile. We were going everywhere. And we were centrally based. So we kind of.
Your best crews were going.
Our best crews were going. And so we would send them out. We'd have our crew chiefs, and we'd tell them who their partners were. And then we were ineligible to work the winning team the rest of the playoffs.
Wow.
So
that's a lot different what we do.
So once we saw that team, we would not see them again. And we could not call any of our teams. So after week 1, half the teams in the state are gone home. So we get to the second week, and we would get maybe 3, maybe 4, just depending on the outcome. If a lot of local teams lost, that opened up more opportunities for us. If our teams kept winning, that squeezed us out. And so that second week, we'd send our 3 best crews or 4 best crews to those locations. And again, at the end of that week, we were done. You were not going to see those teams again. So if you're playing in the postseason, let's just say you're Montgomery Academy, a very successful program. Week 1, you might have a crew come in from Birmingham. If you advanced the second week, your crew probably was coming from Dothan. Week 3, if you still were alive, you probably had a crew from Tuscaloosa coming in. But
I like that.
You worked it out, and I thought it worked very well. I remember one sort of funny story. I can say this: late Greg Brewer, who was in charge, we were working down in Robertsdale. We'd gotten sent from Montgomery down to Robertsdale, Alabama. Long drive, okay? And so we got there, and the coach was smarting off about how much he had to pay us in travel for the ball game. And it was a pretty healthy chunk. I mean, Montgomery to Robertsdale, 50 cents a mile each way, per diem, game fees. I mean, it's a healthy sum. And we were told to call back to the state if there were any issues. Well, he just couldn't get over making an issue of it. So I called back and I said, he was not real happy about us, coming down here from Montgomery and how much it cost. And I get it. And Brewer said, well, his next crew will come from Gadsden.
All right, we got to take a break. Josh, we don't do that in the state of Florida. But you know what? We complain, but at least those people are trying to help. They're at least officiating. The most people like myself some of us that could probably get out and do a decent job with it, we don't do it. And we sit and complain, but we don't get out in the fire and try to help out. So I think that's part of it too, isn't that? They can't get enough officials anymore?
Yeah, we're struggling getting because they're a third party entity that is contracted with the school. They're contracted with Badership schools, right? They're a contracted employee. So you have to get badged and all that kind of stuff. But it really is just a lot of it is lack of availability. And we get geographically it's hard, like that sounds great in Alabama, and I wish we would do something along those lines, but I know, money is the reason why. So, I think we try to do the best with what we can, but the amount of officials that we don't have hurts us in terms of quality and There's a lot of times you'll see the same officials, you're doing football to basketball to baseball to softball. So they're just doing it year round because to make it work, you need them,
Yeah, and I really, truly hate to be critical because bless their heart, they're probably doing the best they can. It's just maybe they had a bad night and maybe I'm being too critical. But if you were there, you know what I'm talking about. All right, we ran late. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. You listen to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We are your home of the Atlanta Braves. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the afternoon underdog.
And he's trying to make a play on the ball and ends up breaking his arm. And according to Adam Goff, I mean, I didn't watch the video very many times because when people's bones break, I'm like, I mean, I watched this. I was watching Facebook the other day, and this dude jumped from a dock that was way high onto a boat. Boom. Tibia and the fibia just snapped.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Thursday's weather forecast. Partly cloudy and a likelihood of thunderstorms this afternoon and evening with a high near 79 and a wind 8 to 12 miles per hour. A possibility of thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies tonight and a temperature of 72. About the same tomorrow, around 77 with a likelihood of thunderstorms. A likelihood of thunderstorms and light showers Saturday and warm around 76. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take your next adventure at an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorrento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Be careful, the roads are wet. It's going to have a lot of rain, I guess, the next 3 or 4 days. We need it. We definitely need it. All right, we got a caller. Let's take this phone call. Good morning.
Listen, I didn't know if you knew it or not, but Arnold baseball team won, and they're going to go to the state championship.
You talking about the Arnold Marlins?
The Arnold Marlins. I didn't know if you knew that or not. You hadn't said that in the last 15 seconds.
Thank you for saying it again, man. Who is this?
This is your favorite plaintiff, the one you always send to court. So
it's got to be Glenn.
Oh, he sounds different today. You got your teeth in?
I got my teeth in.
That's what it is. Yeah, man.
That was cold, man.
Well, hey, you know about this officiating deal. You know about how tough it is.
I tell you what happens. And you do it. I did high school and junior college basketball for about 15 years, but sometimes people. I'm glad they pay to get in to yell at you, but. It's sometimes, when you start accosting officials and all that, people don't want to go in to do that. They go in it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
I actually learned more basketball refereeing than I did when I was coaching because I see so many different things and you know exactly where the ball's supposed to go and all that, and everything. But it's tough. And, when you make a call, and I know more about basketball and softball than I do anything else, but when you make a call, you're 50% wrong. I mean, in their perspective, and so
right.
If you don't have a little tougher skin and stuff, it's kind of tough. But I had a thing when I was AD. You take soccer. I saw the same guys that called when the kids were 5, 7, 12, 14, and 15, and the parents kept yelling at them and go, "What? You've seen these people for 15 years. Why do you?" You know what they're going to call. They're doing it. They're not doing it because they're making so much money they can live off of it. But they enjoy the sport. They still hang around the sport, and it's they're doing the things that they, I see them call stuff. I may not agree with it. I know why they called it, things like that. So it's tough to make people stay in there.
I've got a solution to the problem. Take some of that NIL money and put it into a thing where you train referees and umpires and stuff like that. And pay them. We can't get bus drivers, and we can't get officials.
Jeremy, you know and I know, in Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia, how big sports are. They're huge. Their kids, they want the best coaches, they want the best of everything. It's important to them, and they're going to pay for that stuff. In this state, it's not as important. It used to be, but it's definitely not as important as it used to be. Everybody's involved in everything in Florida.
You got to get younger people involved in this officiating because, so everybody doesn't have a Division I college thing. So if you're a football player and you're not going to college, or you're going to go to college, but you're not going to play on a team or anything, you need to get involved in officiating because you've played the sport. You know how it's supposed to be called.
And I will say this. You made it. You were a state championship official, correct? I mean, you made it that level.
I made it that far, yeah.
That's good.
It took me about 12 years to get there, but and then
that was in basketball, right, Glenn? Wasn't it basketball?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I had more fun in the junior college because it's more of a college thing where the people are really involved in it. But the other thing too is I was going to get into with Josh about we need to get some of the like Escambia and Walton County and Okaloosa County. All the ADs need to go to Gainesville and give them a geography lesson because there's no need for people in Suwannee to go to Tallahassee, and Bay County has to go to Jacksonville when it's closer to Jacksonville from Suwannee than it is here. And and then you win your district, and you still have to travel back to back. So,
I wish you were here for our off-air conversations, Glenn.
Hey, be careful what you ask for. Is all I can say.
Well, I got to get James' permission. This isn't my show. So.
But no, with FHSA, I used to call them about once a week. I'd tell Tommy, I'd say, look, this is what they're doing. He goes, well, call them. I go, I am. So sometimes when they had call them, they just put me on hold and never answer.
Well, I'll tell you this. We had our FIAAA this past weekend. Glenn, I know you're familiar with all those meetings and stuff, and it was very productive. I think we got some baseball issues addressed. I think we got some classification concerns addressed. When you have 300 plus athletic directors get in one room with Craig Damon, and we have basically a round table about some things we're seeing. I think the Panhandle, unfortunately, gets left out a lot, but I think some voices were well. Unfortunately, I had some time to get with him and address some stuff, but I do credit the FHA for being open to, because I know that there's a lot of state associations who won't get in the same room as their stakeholders in that capacity, and they'll just say this is the rule, right? Yeah. I do credit Craig Damon for that. I think there's a lot of issues that need to be addressed. Where do you start? But Glenn, I do agree with the travel. The travel really hurts us because you can't go south, can't go north. You got to go east. More so than west, and down, east and down, and it costs some money to get that, to get to places.
It does.
Hey, Glenn,
you really,
we got to get this in today. I want you to stay on and give us your opinion of this. I think they knocked out of the ballpark, and Josh is with us right now. Pettis is now the head football coach at Bozeman. I don't know if you could get a better combination, football, baseball coaches in one school. You got Jeff Patton, one of the best coaches in the country. And now this Pettis kid, he can coach. I watched him at Arnold last year as a defensive coordinator. I'm telling you, he might be as good as anybody out there.
And he's been around. He is a good coach. He's been around a while. So I've actually run into him wherever he's been coaching, either mostly against him, but he's a good guy.
I think he's a great coach.
He's a good special teams guy too, because we used to kid each other. You can't pull that on me. I know what that one is.
I think it's a great hire. Josh, what's your take on this?
He's had good stops everywhere. Down, DeLand, Dr. Phillips, Sten Leon, and everywhere. He's from Bay County. He's a Rutherford grad, and and he's at the end of his career. I think he's one of the most winningest football coaches in the state of Florida in history. And for Bozeman to land him is great. He's got a younger son, Trey, who played at Florida State, who will probably be with him. And just bring some consistency to them, and it's good for the county. It's good for the football, as a whole here.
Yeah, I noticed he didn't put Cressy because he was at Cressy when I was at Bozeman and everything. So I was going to tell you one thing about FHSA, Josh, you might not know, but it used to be run by two principals. One was Mr. Davis from Crestview, and one was Mr. Fred Goodwin from Bay High. And they would go down every other weekend and work the FHSAA and get it all run and get it all done. And they had people there in Gainesville that did all the other stuff, but they would go down.
Bring them back. We need them back.
They were the president and vice president of FHSAA, and they would go down and get all this stuff done, and so anyway, that's just a long time ago, but that's the way it was done for a long time. So anyway.
All right, buddy. We got you. You didn't play golf today, I can tell.
Well, I should have, because it cleared up by the time we usually tee off. But
yeah. Well, thanks for calling. We got to go.
All right, buddy.
Thank you, man.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks.
How much time we got? Oh, okay. I was about to, Jeremy, talk about the church. What's going on?
First United Methodist Church, Panama City, 8:15, 9:30, 10:45 on Sunday morning. The big Sunday this past Sunday. So many in our community come through our community life center, whether it's recreational events or programs or activities. And we were able to finally, after 15 years, burn the mortgage. A $3.3 million project is now complete.
Good job.
And look forward to many more opportunities to share that. That building particularly was huge after the hurricane. It was one of the largest facilities that was still operable after Michael. Supply drives, and we've just continued to see it grow in demand as the area rebuilds. So things are going well there. Come join us and check us out on Facebook.
And getting back to the Bozeman hire, I'm telling you, our football programs in this county just got stronger. We have got a great head football coach there. I'm really impressed with the guy. I think it's a home run. And we got so many good coaches now in this county and across the board in all the sports. Incredible. But Bozeman, if you're out that way and you're playing football there, you're going to be really highly pleased with what you've hired there. The guy's incredible. And tomorrow we have Jeff Patton on talking about everything that happened to Bozeman baseball. Man, that's still a game. Had you on the edge of the seat. We were watching the phone. The guy
game changer.
Yeah, that's what it's called, game changer. You could tell what was going on. And when that kid hit the home run, it's like, oh, man, unbelievable. I know you're proud of all the baseball.
Oh, absolutely. Jeff's done a great job. Again, he was at Murder's Row from day one of the season. We tried to petition out of that gauntlet, and we didn't get accepted. But the way he responded, his kids fought, they battled, and took on the characteristics of their coaching staff, and they fought to the end. And Jeff's obviously a phenomenal coach and does a great job.
And don't forget, right here and right here only, we all love the Atlanta Braves. We grew up loving the Atlanta Braves. You can listen to them right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. And don't forget, David does the Underdogs every afternoon, does an incredible job. Ryan Movey from 11 to 1. Leave it right here all day long. 104.3, the legendary 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We are out. I'm through talking. I'm done. My throat hurts. Yeah. There you go. Play that music. Play that music, white boy.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.